Bucks Belief in Visionaries. Today, our honored guest is one of San Antonio's premier comedians and co-owner of San Antonio's first Black-owned comedy club, one of 7 in the United States, who wields his simplistic yet hilarious style of comedy as a tool to teach and transport audiences through the ebbs and flows of life, who also lends his gifts as a skilled MC to humanitarian efforts, hosting fundraiser events for the community, and starting his own Comedy for the Goods Foundation shows to feed needy families. Bobby Smith the fourth, aka B Smitty, with us in the power plant today. How you living?
Good, good. Glad to be on here. Finally.
Glad to have you. All right, let's get plugged in. We're charged with 2 things. 1, the discovery of our gift, and 2, the responsibility to share that gift with the world. And right now, there's somebody who's buried underneath the weight of a false narrative that they believe about themselves, and they're going to see this and they're going to say, I can relate to his story because he is from where I am at. And I'm not talking about a geographical location. I'm talking about a mindset, a set of circumstances. Then they're going to know that this man here successfully navigated his way out of a place that I cannot see my way out of. So, Bobby Smith the fourth, aka B Smitty, this is your hour to amp the people up with the power of your story. So let's electrify them.
Man, it's not going to be one of those podcasts where I get emotional and I start crying and it's like Oprah.
You know it's gonna be what it's gonna be, bruh.
Okay,
And we will accept anything that you got to give to us. So,
okay.
question number 1: knowing what you know now, what would you tell the 18-year-old version of yourself? And could you give us a glimpse into that young man's life?
Man, it's a good question. So at 18, you know, I would tell them that you don't know everything. Take the time to listen um, instead of talking. You know, take advantage of people that's already done it. And one, I mean, listen to my pops. He was the main one that was, saying a lot of stuff, and I thought I knew everything, so I felt like, I could have probably avoided some obstacles, if I listened more at 18.
Gotcha. What was going on in your life at 18? Could you give us a picture of what you were going through?
Yeah, just like most 18-year-olds trying to figure it out. Um, you know, college. What am I trying? What am I going to college for? Because I mean, I still didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I just, I was just kind of dabbling around in things. So when I went to college, my mindset wasn't for college. I was,
Gotcha.
I still had the high school mindset. I would go into classes waiting for the school bell to ring. I guess it ain't no school bell. Yeah, I feel like I would have probably, with the mindset I have now, I would have did really, really good in college if I knew exactly what I wanted to do then. But
God,
nobody really ever knows. Most people don't know. Some people do.
that's right. Wow. Um, can you tell us the story of how you discovered your gift?
Oh, okay. I think I saw it like at an early age, probably like around like 6 or 7. Is when I can remember a moment where I got like a high as a kid from getting attention. I'm still a shy person, but I was a really, really shy kid that didn't really know how to, how to make, have a presence. And I just
Okay.
remember um, sometimes just kind of saying something that made everybody laugh, like, or just doing a character. And, I started just trying to like have my own show at early ages. Like I was like Arsenio Hall was who I used to try to emulate all the time. And, um, I saw people was paying attention to this little kid thinking he's Arsenio Hall or different characters. So that kind of let me know that I was an entertainer. And from that moment on, I kept being told that, oh, you're an entertainer, you're an entertainer. So that kind of stuck with me at an early age.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I didn't really become a class clown until uh, probably more junior high, probably more fifth and sixth grade. Like I knew that I could do it. Like I knew that I could captivate people's attention and make people laugh. But I never felt I was malicious. I always felt like when I was making people laugh, it was for a purpose. I was like, man, it just seemed like people are, having anxiety or everybody's tight. So if I do this, do something out the norm, it's going to kind of make people loosen up, and it's going to make this class a lot better.
That's very unique. That's very unique because I remember, a lot of the class clowns and people that when I was coming up, a lot of it was malicious. It was to get a
Yeah.
laugh by dogging somebody else out.
Hmm.
And the fact that it kind of, shows your heart even as a kid. Like your whole purpose for making people laugh was to make them relax and just be themselves. That's awesome. That's
And
awesome.
and for myself too. I have anxiety, or I'm not comfortable with new people or whatever. So if I kind of do something crazy, it kind of like, it helps me fit in.
There you go. See, I love it. I love it. Can you tell us the story of when you felt you had the responsibility to share that gift with the world?
Mm. Um, I hate job interviews. I'm kidding. When when I felt I had the responsibility to share the gift with the world, man, that's deep. Um, I don't know. I mean, because I teach defensive driving, so that was one of the first main jobs I got when I got out of high school. Because I started doing open mic comedy, and then I found a job where they hired comedians to teach defensive driving, and
Wow.
then I just kind of jumped into that, not realizing how big of a blessing it was going to become in my life. Because that actually helped me become a better comedian a lot faster. I was able to do, kind of play off of different people easier because I was so used to doing it in class. But it started becoming like an ongoing thing in my class where people would stay after class and tell me how much they needed that laugh. Like, I guess sometimes when it rains, it pours, and things start going bad, and then you got
Yeah.
a traffic ticket, and a lot of people just be coming in class real bad, and I mean, feeling real bad, and like my class would be so laid back, and they would feel so good at the end of class, like, man, I really needed that. Like, it's like, man, I got this ticket for a reason because I had just dealt with this. I hadn't. Somebody told me they hadn't laughed in so long, like a year or something, and like
Wow.
they just needed that coming to the class. They never would have went to a comedy club or anything, so that's when I realized, like, all right, like, you know, people need this. Like, I would do this for free.
Wow. That right there, that is the power. I hope y'all are listening. So this just something that just came natural to you that you said I would do this for free because of how it helps people.
Yeah.
That right there, that is unique. It just captures again, it's showing the essence of who you are. Um how did you make belief reality? Like you saw this vision of yourself and like you created this vision and you made it happen. How did you make belief reality?
As far as doing stand-up comedy, or
Your whole journey of
oh,
who you see yourself as.
I think it's just God putting the right people in my life at the right times. Like, some people have fallen out my life, but He would move me to somebody that would just kind of like either give me more confidence than I even know I had. And I mean, the key was just confidence. Just like they're saying stuff that I'm not even saying. I'm just doing, but they're telling me like, like, yo, they kind of built me up. So I just felt like I consider those people like angels. Like, man,
Right.
these are angels that was kind of put in my life to kind of lead me to where I keep going. So yeah, just more of the people around me, the positive people that help me build confidence. That was always my issue.
So, how did you become not just a stand-up comedian, but how did you come uh with the opportunity to open up your own comedy club? Like, this is a story and a half. I
Oh yeah,
gotta know.
it's kind of crazy because so I started doing stand up comedy at like 20. I'm 40 now, so this is my 20th year,
Wow.
and like I was having so much fun on stage. I was just loose and saying, I'm like, oh, I can say whatever I want, and I was, just playing around, just getting the biggest laughs, and then, after a while, it took a toll. I was like, oh, this is a business. This is kind of cutthroat. I hate
Okay.
the business part. I quit stand up. So I was just real low on stand up because I didn't realize all the stuff that you really had to do to make it. And there's like a lot of people that weren't really funny, but they were excellent in business, and they were just like they were able to see the world. They were just living a great life. So I hated the business part, and I was gonna quit. And then I kind of took it in my own hands to just start doing my own shows the way I wanted to do them at different locations, like different places, whether it's a bar, restaurants, or whatever. And it's kind of figuring out the production side of it. And I kind of started, liking producing shows, to the point to where it became a skill. Skill that I had was to produce shows and to get people in the shows, and it'd be like a quality show as good as the comedy club. It's just not at the comedy club. So started doing that for years. I ended up meeting a guy in one of my defensive driving classes, and he was a DJ, and he ended up having some small portable equipment in class, and we just started playing around in class, just kind of like doing like a little show, doing some little rap stuff, and we kind of hit it off. And he said that he would help me make my shows even better. Okay, because he had like a military background, so he was he had a different discipline than I had, so he
Right.
was able to add that element to what I was already doing, and like the shows just kind of took off.
Wow.
So it made me start appreciating the business side a little more when I was able to kind of control more things myself, and we ended up doing it at this one place that we became really successful at, but I don't know, something happened to where we built it up and then they gave it to somebody else, and it just seemed real like not fair. So we came up with the idea to maybe get like a little spot, like our own little place, rent a little room, and we'll do comedy spots in a little room. And that was the plan. And then that plan just started growing into like, hey, I think we can open an actual comedy club. Like, why not? And he had more belief in it than me.
Okay.
I didn't think it was possible. Like, yeah, if it was that easy, everybody would have did it. But that's why I give him most of the credit because he's older, he's experienced, he's done some stuff. So he's military, so I don't know, we was able to put our skills together and make it happen, and that's kind of how I fell into it. And now it's more of a payoff of everything that the business did to my soul. I feel like it's helped bring it back. Like, okay, like I get it now. Like, I'm able to appreciate the business side a lot more now that I'm on this side.
That is beautiful. Like, I'm listening to what you're saying, and it's like, okay, you hated the way that it was as an industry, as the standard. So
Right.
you said, it almost made you want to quit, but you took it and you made it your own.
Yeah.
And you collaborated with good people who believed in you and believed that, hey, we can make this however we want to make it. And that right there, that right there is foundational, because somebody's listening and they're going to be like, oh, okay, so I can take what it is, because we have to transcend whatever. So if somebody is dealing with something totally different, they can take this and say, okay, well, he took the industry and made it and shaped it into something that fits, that you can be proud of, that you can love. Man, that's gold. That's gold. That is gold. Uh, I'll tell you what, that was a wonderful experience that I've had in your facility. And, I applaud you and all your efforts. What would you like to share with the listeners about what's on your horizon and where they can interact with you either online or locally?
Um, well, yeah, we're still growing. Our main thing is, you know, trying some different stuff. Trying to, San Antonio is so. I feel like we don't take enough chances. So, I'm trying different things that have actually been working. Where we had like a little like a trap and paint thing where we had a DJ and people were painting, listening to music.
That's cool.
Um, different like karaoke brunch events have been cool. So yeah, I just want people just to continue following us on social media and checking out the website as we keep growing and adding new stuff. So it's not just the same old thing. Just something different to enhance the city and the culture.
Well, I know personally that you've taken risks and opened up the doors as the event that you hosted for the Black Business San Antonio was that's just opening up your doors and allowing all the different entrepreneurs to get to know who you are, to get to know what you're about, and introducing them to the world of comedy because a lot of people they don't really know what it's like. They don't know firsthand, especially out here, being the first black owned comedy club. Like it was different, and I enjoyed myself, and I was comfortable, and it's just an amazing experience to be in your world in the comedy club. Thank you so much.
I appreciate you, man. I'm glad that I met you during that event. I mean, your energy, your positive energy is like no other. So
Thank you.
I didn't know what to expect. I was just kind of, meeting new people, but like saying if I think anybody that talks to you, they're gonna walk away feeling good. Like I'm happy I just said hello to this man. Like
I appreciate you for that. For real. For real. For real.
yeah, it was
Um,
good times.
very good times. What is the email address or what's the website? And I'll post it after, but just so that the people know the name of the comedy club and where you're located, just give a shout out.
Okay. Yeah, our website is upstagecomedy.com. Um, yeah, you can go to the website. We're located off of 35 and 410 area. The address is 4441 Walsen Road. Um, we're doing open mics on Mondays. Thursday through Sunday, we normally have comedy shows. Every first Thursday of the month, we have like the largest poetry show in the city. It's amazing. The energy is like, man, it's just a great experience. So if you like poetry, come check that out. I'm still working on some new stuff. I'm about to set up like a jazz and jokes type thing.
Woo!
It'll be a nice little grown and sexy event where you get some of the best jazz musicians from out of town
Come
and
on.
comedians mix it together. So, some for the grown people. I felt like after the pandemic, it really affected like a 35 and up crowd the most. Like
Yeah,
they didn't come out as much. So I'm trying to
right.
have a comfortable environment so they can get out the house more too. So
Well, thank you for expanding our horizons. Uh, Belief in Visionaries, Power Plugs. If you're local, come check the Upstage Comedy Club out. Come see Mr. B Smitty in person.
oh,
Phenomenal, phenomenal man, and an example to what it means to be community.
appreciate
Uh,
that. Oh, can I share one more thing?
Absolutely.
I just remembered. So I'm still a performer. I do comedy and poetry, kind of mixed together. So December 30th and December 31st, I do like a special. It's called Damage Control. It's going to be part two. So where you get like a mix of basically, I'm just putting all my talents together in one, and we'll do like a recording and just have a real good time.
That's what's up. Check him out. Check out the comedy club. Support what feeds your community, y'all. Thank you again for coming on the show. Looking forward to all the wonderful things that you have and that you're bringing to this city. Thanks again, and everybody stay connected and stay uplifted. Take care. Change the narrative in your life. Take the next step. Invest in yourself and book a life strategy coaching session with me at www.beliefinteriordesign.com. Let's start the journey of making belief reality.